Western Kentucky takes on Appalachian State, 11 a.m. Eastern kickoff. Appy State is -2.5, total 67. We're hitting at 63% in our last 16 college football tier package picks on BrockPage.com. And if you want to see which one of these free YouTube picks on my channel that I'm actually betting on personally, there's only one way to do that, and that's to sign up for a membership on my website at BrockPage.com. We're also 5-0 with a push in our last 6 $1.99 daily best plays on BrockPage.com as well. And the good news is we have another $1.99 daily best play going off here in the early afternoon. Now, if you're on the fence about getting a package here today on my safe and secure website, just keep in mind we currently have over 940 members who are signed up and active on that page right now. Now, the Mountaineers have failed to cover in their last 2 straight, one of those failures being an outright loss to Louisiana. As a matter of fact, Appy State was held to just 16 points in that loss to the Ragin' Cajuns. And although I really can't find a whole lot wrong with Appalachian State statistically, they have done a pretty poor job of protecting the football. They rank 120th in the nation in offensive turnovers. Quarterback Chase Bryce has thrown double-digit interceptions. The Mountaineers have also failed to cover the point spread against the likes of Georgia Southern, Marshall, and Louisiana twice. And both of those failures to cover against the Ragin' Cajuns, they were outright losses where they were held to less than 17 points respectively in those games. Now, they're taking on a Western Kentucky team who won 7 out of their last 8 themselves. 75% against the spread during that stretch. The Hilltoppers have the most dynamic passing attack in college football. They lead the nation in pass yards per contest, and they're averaging over 43 points a game. Bailey Zappi has thrown for over 5,500 yards, along with 56 touchdowns. And of course, the stud quarterback's got himself 2 1,000-yard wide receivers in Stearns and Tinsley. Jareth Stearns has caught 137 balls this season for over 1,700 yards and 14 scores. Meanwhile, Mitchell Tinsley is just a yard shy of 1,300 yards himself, along with a dozen scores. Now, this record-setting offense has averaged nearly 530 total yards of offense a game. Meanwhile, defensively, as much as they've struggled in certain spots, they do have the potential to be opportunistic. Western Kentucky's in the top 3 in the country in defensive takeaways. Now, total-wise, 4 out of Western Kentucky's last 5 got over the line, 69% to the over for the entire season. Meanwhile, Appalachian State saw games with Troy, Georgia State, and Marshall get over the line themselves. Give me Western Kentucky plus 2.5 over 67. Next game, UAB versus BYU, 3:30 p.m. Eastern start time. BYU's -6.5, totals 55. The Cougs are on a 5-game winning streak. Top 20 in the country in offensive yards per game. The Cougs are scoring 34 points per contest. They're led by Tyler Allgeier, who's gained over 1,400 yards on the ground, and he scored 20 times. Meanwhile, defensively, the Cougs are in the top 25 in takeaways. BYU also got the W in 5 out of their last 6 ball games away from Provo. They're taking on a UAB team who certainly doesn't live and die by their aerial attack. This Blazer offense throws for under 210 yards a game, and they rank 91st in the country in that particular category. The Blazers' leading receiver averages just 56 yards a game. Meanwhile, quarterback Dylan Hopkins has thrown for only 15 touchdowns all season. Now, total-wise, it feels a bit like of an under game here for me. 5 out of UAB's last 7 ball games away from their home field fell under the posted number. And although they're playing a little bit closer to home than BYU, it isn't quite the friendly confines of Legion Field. Meanwhile, the Cougars on the other side, well, they saw 4 out of their last 6 away from Lavelle Edwards Stadium fall under the number themselves. I'm going to lean toward BYU minus 6.5 under 55. Next matchup, Utah State versus Oregon State, 7:30 Eastern kickoff. The Oregon State Beavers are minus 7, total 68. Now, the Beavs lost 3 out of their final 5 contests. And to be honest, these guys were terrible away from home this year. Just 1-5 straight up away from their home field. 1-5 against the number in that same category. The Beavs threw for under 215 yards a game offensively. Meanwhile, defensively, they had a tough time stopping the pass. They're 87th in the nation in pass defense. Now, Oregon State also ranks 107th in fourth quarter points allowed. Now, injury-wise, Lindsey, Fenwick, Levengood, and Lolo Hea, they're questionable. Roberts is out. They're taking on a Utah State team who won 7 out of their last 8 themselves. And they played their best football away from home. Matter of fact, the Aggies went a perfect 7-0 straight up when traveling this season. 6-1 against the spread in those ball games. This Utah State offense was terrific this season. Over 33 points a game they averaged. Top 15 in pass offense. Logan Bonner threw for over 3,500 yards along with 36 touchdowns. Meanwhile, Devin Tompkins has nearly 1,600 receiving yards along with 9 touchdowns. Now, Bowling and Wright also combined for 20 touchdown receptions between the two of them. The Aggies threw for over 305 yards per contest. Meanwhile, defensively, the Aggies were in the top 20 in fewest fourth quarter points allowed. When it comes to the total on this one, 3 out of Utah State's last 4 contests got over the posted number. Meanwhile, Oregon State went 4-2 to the 4-2 to the over in their last 6 themselves. I'm going to lean toward Utah State plus 7 over 68. And with that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap, powered to you by my website at brockpage.com, where we are hitting at 63% in our last 16 college football tier package picks. I like Western Kentucky plus 2.5 over 67, BYU minus 6.5 under 55. Utah State plus 7 over 68. And as far as all the other bowl games go, I like Fresno State minus 11 under 52. Liberty minus 9.5 over 58. And before I give you my next and final free pick for the video, one final reminder that we are also 5-0 with a push in our last 6 $1.99 daily best plays on brockpage.com. I'm going to lean toward the Louisiana Raging Cajuns minus 4.5 under 56. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on brockpage.com. If you guys do end up getting a membership here today on that website, just keep in mind, you're going to get billed the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, guys, happy Saturday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at brockpage.com.